It's my favorite day of the week. It is Training Tuesday. And welcome. So, very happy to have you guys here today. It is Training Tuesday. It is 6 o'clock on the East Coast. And we're going to get ready to rock and roll here in a second. So, thank you for joining me. Tonight, we're going to talk about decisions, making decisions, the power of decisions, which really comes down to the power of choice. And the conversation might go a little bit differently tonight than say our normal trainings, and that's because although typically with trainings I send you away with like homework and things to do, not really quite going to do that tonight. I mean, I do have a suggestion for you, of course, but going to make sure also my sound is off here so that I am not interrupted by anything. Here we go. No, that didn't work. Okay, now I'm set so that I can see your comments. Thank you very much. So, thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're talking about decision making and the power of choice. So, um, as we wait for some people to join us and everything, I want you to think about a decision you've made recently. Um, big decision, little decision, doesn't matter. And I would love if you shared it in the chat. Um, I myself recently had to buy a car. And actually, if you could share in the chat here, hold on. Okay, I had to buy a car recently. And if you guys can see me okay, can you share that in the chat? Because on my other screen, I'm completely frozen. And I want to make sure, there we go, that we can see each other. Total distractions coming in tonight. Again, power of choice. What are the choices I have? To check in with you guys to see if you are getting this signal okay, because it's really choppy on one screen and really fluid on the other. And I'm a little concerned about whether the signal's coming through. Okay, good. Jackie, you see me. Jackie, am I freezing up a bunch? That's what I can't tell. Or is my other screen just being stupid? All right, well, I'm going to keep talking until one of you tells me that it's just all messed up, and hopefully it won't be. And if it is, I will figure out how to redo this for you guys. Let's see here. Why is this behaving badly? Nope, I'm good. Okay, if I'm good, I'm going to keep talking. It is clearly just something screwy on my end. All right, so let's talk about decisions. I was saying recently I had to buy a car, and it was not an easy decision. And I don't know if this is ever a decision that you guys have to make that is challenging for you, but for me, it wasn't an easy decision because I truly loved my last car. Loved her. And I hated her. And like all great romances, it was a big love-hate relationship. If I look dispassionately, right, if I kind of take my emotion out of the whole car buying process, it was a bad decision. Buying Ursula, her name was Ursula, buying Ursula was a bad decision. Um, Probably one of the worst decisions I've made. And just in terms of car reliability and how much she cost me, not a smart move. And what it meant was when it came to buying a new car, I had all this kind of emotional baggage with me on the car buying process, right? It meant that I knew I needed something practical and I needed something affordable and comfortable and I wanted something fast. So, car buying, especially if you're a woman, is a really painful process. And even on the best day, the most stellar day, car buying is painful. When you are also carrying around the weight of a past relationship with you, it's car buying is challenging. It just is. Ultimately, I did get rid of Ursula and I bought Annie Freed. Her name is Annie Freed. And honestly, she's the right mix of reliability and comfort and speed. So she's a good decision. Truthfully, my heart isn't with her the way my heart was with Ursula. But she is a good decision. It was a good decision that took a lot of thought, a lot of research, a lot of self talk because of all the baggage I had, and a lot of boring my friends. So, this was one decision that chewed up a whole bunch of my time and a whole bunch of my energy. So, what I would love to know from you guys is what is that one decision you've made lately? And it doesn't have to be a car buying decision. It could be as simple as what you had for breakfast. But I would love for you to share with me in the chat what's a decision that you've made recently. Just a decision, something that took up time and energy, basically. Even if it wasn't a huge decision, it just took you some time and energy. And while you're thinking about that and dropping that in the chat, I'm going to say hello. My name is Natalie Hahn. I am CEO of Dirty Girls Consulting. And if you have not joined us before on Training Tuesday, welcome. Training Tuesday is Training Tuesday. We spend a little time here every Tuesday to do a little training on a variety of topics. We talk about communication, we talk about empowerment, confidence, pretty much any issues that you guys want to talk about when it comes to leadership and confidence and our professional and personal development, we're going to tackle here. I would love for you also to say hello in the chat to me and to each other. Let me know where you're coming in from. Jordana, I know Jordana made some really good decisions this week. I love it. Jackie, yeah, the ultimate hard decision, right? What's for dinner? Yeah, every day. That's a daily decision that can chew up a lot of time and a lot of energy. And we think it's not that complicated, but it always feels like with dinner, there's so much at stake, right? Other people who might have opinions and might want different things and all that fun stuff. So, hey, Sue's here and Joyce. Excellent. Hi, Rose. All right. So let's talk about these decisions because if you saw the ads that I was putting out to remind you guys about tonight, you know that research estimates we make 35,000 decisions every day, which sounds a little overwhelming, right? Sounds like a lot. And naturally, a ton of these decisions we put on autopilot. We don't think too much about when we do them, right? So like, is brushing our teeth really a decision? Is putting on clothes every day really a decision? Is eating really a decision? And as Jackie pointed out, you know, when we think about what's for dinner, it can be. It can really be a decision. And the answer though is yes. Even these ones that are on autopilot. Right? Am I turning on the light or turning off the light when I enter the room? Am I flushing the toilet when I go to the bathroom? Right? These are still decisions, and we put them on autopilot because we can. Doesn't always mean we should, right? But think about that. Like morning routines, for example, have a purpose, right? It frees up our brain. It frees up our brain to think about more important things like I've got to get the kids a healthy breakfast and off to school. Or I got a presentation to deliver later today, so I need to be thinking and preparing for my presentation, right? But the thing is, even those little tiny decisions can have a big impact, can have big consequences if we're not thoughtful about them. So, hey, and Christina's here. Hi, Christina, welcome. So I want you to think about the little decisions, right? We just talked about. So for example, the brushing of the teeth, right? It's part of our morning routine. It's part of our habit. We don't really think about it. But maybe we should. Because maybe there are cavities in our future. Maybe there are fillings that are coming loose. Maybe, I'm going to share this and she's going to kill me, but I'm going to share it anyway. So if my daughter sees this, don't kill me. But maybe my daughter in college, when she was in college, broke up with a boy who admitted to her that sometimes he would forget to brush his teeth. And the minute she told me that he acknowledged that sometimes he forgets to brush his teeth, I knew. I was like, this relationship's over. It's done. And it was. It didn't last beyond that. So brushing your teeth can end relationships if you don't do it. But also obviously has kind of health benefits and bad breath and, you know, healthy teeth and all of that. The decision to get dressed, right? Unless we're living in a nudist colony, which most of us don't, we have to put clothes on just by law. No shoes, no shirt, no service, that kind of thing. And then there's all the other choices that come with that, right? Because there are decisions about what we wear and how we wear it and what we wear on which days. And we know that there's judgment around that. So how are we expressing ourselves through how we choose to dress? And then there's the decision around what to eat, like Jackie's whole point, what's for dinner? I don't know. So what to eat? When do we eat? Are we eating healthy? Are we having dessert or not? Are we eating inside or outside? All of these things you start to see how the 35,000 decisions, right? The choices start to add up. Here's the thing. Every decision moves us from moment to moment. The choices we make right now move us into the next moment. They impact the very next decision we're going to make. So for example, you lovely ladies are here with me tonight. This is a choice that you've made. This is a decision that you've made. Well, heart health for teeth brushing as well. Yes. See, there's all kinds of effects, and we don't always think about them. We're not always aware of them. So, going back to my example, right? Tonight, you're here with me. We're doing this training. We're having this conversation. Maybe after this training, you're going to start thinking about, maybe I should dig a little bit more into how I'm making decisions and my values and spend a little time with that. And that's going to take you down a path. Maybe in another minute or two, you're going to decide to get up and go to the bathroom. And then when you do that, you're going to get distracted by going and getting a drink of water. And then when you're in the kitchen, you're going to start a conversation with your partner. And that's going to take you down a different path. And maybe in the comments here, you guys talking to each other, you think, I'm going to reach out to this other person in this conversation because I was really interested in what she had to say. And that takes you down a different path. Literally, every decision we make opens a path, right? It takes us from moment to moment. Every decision, conscious and unconscious, that we make has an impact. So I don't say that to overwhelm us, because that's no good, but I say it to point out that this is where your power lies. Your power lies in the fact that you are making decisions in every moment that impact what happens in the next. Your power lies in your consciousness. In your consciousness, in your self-awareness, in what you choose to do with your time right now in this present moment, and how that leads to what you choose to do next. So the more conscious you are of the choices you make, the easier it is for you to ensure that you are making choices that are in alignment with what you truly want. What you want from your career, from that next promotion, that next raise, from your relationships, from your family, from your friendships, from everything. It's literally every decision, every moment impacts how you're going to build your life. And only you have the power to do that. Only you have the power to take your career to that next level. Only you have the power to have the love affair that you want to have. Only you have the power to create the family and the family culture that you want. It is all lined up in you making a choice for what you want to create, what you want to build, what you want to own. Of course, that means you actually have to know what you want. And that is a completely different training. So we're not going to do that tonight. Tonight, we're going to pretend that you know what you want. Or if you do know what you want, and that would be even better, for those of you who know what you want, share with me in the chat, share with each other, what are some of the things you want for your career, for your personal life, for your personal development, for whatever. Whatever you're comfortable sharing, share it. I'm going to start sharing a few things that are on my list, okay? But I would love for you to share with each other, what is something that you want in your career, whether it's the next promotion, the next raise, a different job, a new career path, a new relationship, a new puppy, doesn't matter. Just what do you want? And I'm going to say hello to Rachel. I'm glad you made it. Here's what I'm going to share with you that's on my list of things that I want. So as I think about decisions I'm making, right? I know that one day I want a house on the water. I have not landed on ocean, river, lake, kind of almost not that picky about it, but I love being near the water. I find it so relaxing and so meditative, and I love being in water. So to me, some part of my home being on or very, very, very close to water is important. I know that one day I want a house where all my kids can visit with their families. I don't know if I want it to be the same house that's actually on the water. I don't know if I want to share that, but I know that those are two things that I want. I know that I want to finish the training I started for crystal bowl healing and sound bath meditation. I know that it's important for me to be fit and healthy, and that I love feeling physically strong. I know it's my cat, if you can hear him yowling. And I know that despite the fact that I complain a lot about this cat, I do love him. I know that I want people in my life who are energized, who are thoughtful, and who are happy and make me laugh. Right? So these are all things I know that I want. What do you want? What are the things that you guys want? So Rose has land, possibly animal rescue for, oh, that's cool for her career. See, I couldn't do the animal rescue. Can you hear the cat? He's a rescue cat. Um, I walked in, this is a total aside, guys. I walked into an animal shelter once and I came home with 3 cats. 3. Yeah, because there was a 2-for-1 sale on kittens at the animal shelter. My kids will never let me forget this. There there was a 2-for-1 sale for kittens at the animal shelter, and then I went back because there was a Siamese cat and I desperately wanted a Siamese, and I'd already bought the other 2 kittens. So yeah, welcome to me in animal shelters. My children don't let me near them. Jackie, also working towards her next house, and with all the learning everything she can in her current job to get her to the next role. Fantastic. And thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate that. Another thing that's on my list is taking time every day for 3 brain activities. And the 3 kind of brain related activities are, I want time every day to meditate. I want time every day to think, to consciously think through a problem or a challenge in my business. And I want time every day to mindlessly enjoy my coffee. 3 things I want to do every day. So when you think about the things that you put, right, Rose is thinking about maybe an animal rescue shelter or land, right? Personally, you said you want some land. Jackie's thinking about that next house. What decisions are you making every day? What decisions are you making that are going to get you there? What choices are you making that just get you one step closer to that goal? It's an animal night. What can I tell you? Now, more importantly than the choices you're making is to be aware of what are the choices that you're making that are holding you back, that are keeping you from making progress towards those goals. Because that is where we run into our misalignment, and that is where we either don't realize that we are making a choice that's holding us back because we're not thinking it through, or we believe we don't have a choice. And the truth is, we always have a choice. And you guys have heard me say this, we may not like our choices. And sometimes the choice is to reframe how we're thinking about something as opposed to doing A or B. It's changing how we view it or how we think about it. But we do always have a choice. I know, for example, that every time I visit Starbucks, that is a $6 coffee that is holding me back from my house on the water. I know that every time I hit snooze, every time I hit the snooze button, it's costing me thinking time. It's costing me my meditation time. It's costing me my exercise time. It's costing me the me time. I also know every time I hit snooze exactly how much money that costs me, because I know how much I value my time, so I can put a dollar figure on it. You should be putting a dollar figure on it too, honestly. You should be figuring out what every minute, what every decision is costing you. Now, this is where I want to talk about value, because when we start making our decisions, not just the value of like, what's my time worth, therefore what is my decision worth to me, but also what are the values that I hold and that I carry that are shaping my life on which I'm making these decisions. Because when we make our decisions, even the automatic, the unthinking ones, those are typically based on the values that we hold. When we make a decision that is not in alignment with where we want to go, okay, the decision is not in alignment with the house on the water, it's not in alignment with buying land or with my next career move, then possibly I am making a decision that is out of alignment with my values, or I'm making a decision in alignment with a value that no longer serves me. And that's what we need time to think about and consider is, am I making choices that are helping me create the life I want? Or am I reacting to a value or to a trigger that is keeping me from the life I want? So Rose says, every time I shop at Amazon or purchase something, I am not decreasing my debt. Yeah. And that's exactly how I look at it as well, Rose, right? Is I have to look at things in terms, I don't have to. I choose to look at things in terms of how much do I need this? So it's an investment. If I can't justify this purchase as an investment, then what it is doing is it's taking away from something else that I want to do. Now, this is what happens, right? Every time we make a decision that is not in alignment with moving us forward towards what we want, that is where we disempower ourselves. That's where we lose our power. It's not somebody else. It's not somebody else oppressing us. We choose to give up the power every time we do not honor who we are and what we want. So I promise myself that I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to work out, and then I don't. I hit snooze instead. Or I feel too tired. I don't put on my running shoes. That decision, one, I'm lying to myself now because I said I was going to work out and I'm not. So I've just lied to myself. I've just let myself down. Two, I've disempowered myself because now how do I trust myself knowing that I'll just say I'm going to do it tomorrow and then I won't do it again tomorrow? Every time I hit snooze, I let go of my power. Every time I choose the apple fritter over the fresh fruit, which by the way is a choice no one should have to make. But if you ever have to make the choice, if my outcome, if what I'm striving for is healthy, is fit, is strong, because I value health and wellness, then the apple fritter is a big fat symbol of giving up my power. And I'm sorry that my dog is so loud out there. All right, so what are your values? That's really what I'm getting down to. If you are not clear on your values, or if you think you know what your values are, but you really haven't considered it, then I strongly urge you to do a values exercise. Now, I think some of you on this call know because you've done it with me. I have a values worksheet. I am happy to share it with you. So drop the word values in the chat if you'd like me to send you the values worksheet. But if you don't do the Dirty Girls values worksheet, that's fine. Do something. Go find another values exercise. There's a zillion of them out there if you want to Google them. But do the values exercise to get very clear on what your top values are today, how you're making decisions today, and then determine, are these values working for you? So one, are you making choices in alignment with these values? And two, are these values actually helping you get closer to your goals? Are they actually the values that you should be aligned with in order to achieve the life that you want? So I was watching this video the other night, and it was an interview with Tony Robbins. And I'm perfectly honest, I'm not a huge fan of his. I don't dislike him, honestly. I'm just not a huge fan. But every now and then he says things that I think are nuggets. And one of the things that he said was, the decisions we make control us more than the conditions we meet. And I thought about that. I thought, why would we think that? Well, we can't control the conditions at all, right? We can't control the weather. We can't control the job market. We can't control the stock market, right? So there are a lot of elements out of our control that we will often throw up our hands, right, in terms of decision making and choices, saying, I didn't have a choice because these things happened. And Tony Robbins' statement is, despite those things that happen, you still have choice and you still have control. And I was thinking about the fact that earlier this summer, I had a couple weeks, and I shared it with you guys actually on a Training Tuesday, where I was just doing everything wrong. I was making one bad decision after another. I just made so many mistakes, and I made it with the people who mattered the most to me. And I had to step back and realize, okay, while I can't control what's happening in the world, and while I can't control how people are going to react to me, to what I say, or to what I do, I still have to be accountable for me. I still have to be accountable for what I do and I say and for the choices that I make. Which meant I had to get back in alignment with who I am and who I want to be. And I had to get back in alignment with the kind of life that I want to lead and that I want to create. So what we can control, what I can control, what you can control, what is in our power is how we choose to spend our time every day. we can control where we put our energy. There are 6 areas in life where we tend to put our energy, right? There's 6 areas where we focus the most. Um, Health, our physical well-being is one. So diet, exercise, right? Just how we feel, how we take care of ourselves. That's one. Emotions is 2, right? How we feel. We're always on the hamster wheel of trying to feel good and trying to avoid feeling bad. Relationships is 3. Career, right? Where we spend our time and our days is 4. Money is 5, right? How do we fund our lives? How do we afford our lives? And 6 is spirituality, right? That connection with something bigger, something broader than ourselves, the bigger power. So health, emotions, relationships, career, money, and 6, spirituality. Those are the 6 areas where we tend to focus our energy. What values are you bringing to those 6 areas? What choices are you making in those 6 areas? If those are the 6 building blocks of your life, what choices are you making in those 6 areas? Because only you have the power to shape that. So this is what I want to leave you with tonight. I want you to think about the career that you want, the career that you know you should have. And I want you to think about the life that you want, the life that you know you want. Right? Strip away all of those gremlin voices that tell you it's too big, it's too much, you shouldn't want it, it's not possible, because that is us giving up our power. And just get clear on what you want. And then I want you to think about the values you have and what's truly important to you in how you make decisions. So do the values exercise. Like I said, do the Dirty Girls one, drop values in the chat, I'll send it to you, but do any of it. But get clear on the key values through which you make your decisions. And then start making conscious choices every day. One conscious choice at least every day that gets you one step closer to the outcome. Because our awareness and our consciousness about the decisions we're making, where we are versus where we want to go, it's the only way you get there. It's the only way that happens. So, get clear on what you want. And it doesn't have to be a defined house on the water. It could just be, I'd like to buy my own house someday. It could be, I want to live in another country, right? The more granular you get, honestly, the easier it is, but it might take you time to get down to the granular detail of what you want if you haven't thought about it. But start thinking through, what's this life I want to live? What are the values that I hold dear? How do these two merge together? And how do I make decisions every day that are in alignment with that get me closer to the goal? Now, if you need some help sorting through your values, defining your goals, figuring out what your next step is, then we talk. That's when you and I talk. And that's where you drop the word dig in the chat. And I'll reach out to you and we'll do a 15-minute Dirty Girl mini dig conversation. And depending on where you're at, I can help you get more clarity around your values, get more clarity around the goal that you're working for, or help you define that next step. Wherever you're at, the purpose of the conversation is something I help women with every day, which is getting clarity and getting to action. So I want to help you get clear on what your goals are, what your values are, where you want to go, and then get to that one action step that gets you a little bit closer to the goal you're trying to achieve. So the Dirty Girl Mini Dig is a structured 15-minute call. It gets us pretty quickly to an action step. It's free. It's no obligation. It's not a sales pitch. It's an opportunity for us to talk and connect and for you to get grounded in where you are today versus where you want to go. So if you want the Dirty Girl Mini Dig, drop the word dig in the chat. If you want the values worksheet, drop the word values in the chat. And if you just had a good time, say so. So I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I know and you know, and some of you have worked with me, so you definitely know this. It is not, pardon me, it's a night full of interruptions, isn't it? It is not always easy to find clarity. And we don't always find it on our own because we get so locked in our own kind of head, in our own view of things. And that's my role as a coach, is to help you break through and find more clarity. So before I choke more, excuse me, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for joining me for Training Tuesday. As always, I love being here, and I'm losing my voice. Let's break out in a conversation that's designed to help you break through lack of clarity, confusion about goals, and getting that next step. Have a great night, you guys, and thank you again for joining me. Go get your power back.